In this lesson, we are continuing our indefinite integrals, just focusing on still like these fractions, but now with radicals, and then we will also introduce sine and cosine. So here again, my suggestion would be is, since we really can't simplify this, but rewrite this. So remember, right, like with the square root of x here, this is our square root, and x has an exponent of 1. So this is the same as x to the 1/2, right? But remember, this is now in the denominator, so it has a negative exponent. This becomes rewriting 4x to the negative 1/2 dx. So here rewriting, oops, sorry, my pen here, rewriting, now we can start our power rule where we add 1, or in this case, add 2 over 2. So our new exponent here in this case is x to the 1/2. And remember, this is still times 4, right? So 4x to the 1/2. But then remember, we divide by the fraction or multiply by the reciprocal, which in this case is 2 over 1, which is just 2. So here our integral is 8x to the 1/2 power plus c. Or if you want to practice and remember, x to the 1/2 is our square root. So you could also practice rewriting this as 8 times radical x plus c. Now here, notice we can simplify because we have two terms, right, being divided by x to the, or cubed root of x. So here when we simplify, remember this is an exponent of 1/3. So here I can write this on the side so we can see. So this is x to the 1/3. This is 5x to the first power, but notice with our fraction, I'll rewrite it as 3 over 3 and plus 4. So here now subtract, right? Because dividing, subtracting exponents. So we're going to find the integral of, this is 5x to the 2/3, 3/3 minus 1/3, plus, notice you can't do anything here, so this is 4x to the negative 1/3 power dx. So this is what we're going to find the integral of and apply power rule. So again, adding 1 to our exponents. So this is 3 over 3 that we're adding, right? So this becomes, ooh, my pen here, sorry, it's a little wonky today. 5x, there we go, to the 5/3 power. But again, remember then divide by our exponent, which is a fraction. So we're going to multiply by the reciprocal, which is 3/5. Then plus here, this is now x to the 2/3. Then 4, but then don't forget to divide or multiply by the reciprocal, which is 3/2. Sorry, let me change this up so that I'm not squishing here and leave a little bit more space. So here, so plus, so this was 4x to the 2/3, and then we multiply by the reciprocal, which is 3/2. So now notice, simplify. Well, this is 5 divided by 5, or you could just multiply, right? 3/5 times 5, and you should get 3. So this is 3x to the 5/3 power. Then here, 3/2 times 4, you should get 6. So plus 6x to the 2/3 power plus c. Here is our integral. So again, notice the rewriting, it's just now with radicals, and then again, still simplify before you apply the power rule. Go ahead and pause the video and try these two U-tries here on your own. And so for the first one here, you should have, after rewriting and simplifying, right, because this is x to the first power and this is x to the 1/2 power, 1 or 2 over 2. So this becomes, we're going to find the integral of x to the 1/2 plus 2x to the negative 1/2, because again, no x here and in the denominator. So now here we find our integral. After applying power rule, after adding 1 to our exponents, which is in this case, right, 2 over 2, you end up with x to the power of 3 over 2. And don't forget to divide by the fraction or multiply by the reciprocal, so 2/3. Then plus here, this is now x to the 1/2, negative 1/2 plus 1. But then don't forget to divide by your new exponent or multiply by the reciprocal, which is 2 over 1 or 2. So that means here your integral is 2/3 x to the 3/2 power plus, don't forget 4 here from 2 times 2. Then x to the 1/2 power, or you could rewrite this as 4 times radical x plus c. Then here for the second one, you should have simplified again, right? So this is x to the first power. This is x to the 1/4 power. So here rewriting, we're going to find the integral of, this becomes 14x to the 3/4 power. This is 4/4 now, minus 1/4. Then minus 3x to the negative 1/4 power, because again, in the denominator, dx. Now, apply power rule. After adding 1, which recall, right, this is representing 4 over 4, you now have 14 times x to the 7/4. But then don't forget, right, to divide by the fraction or multiply by the reciprocal, which is 4/7. Then minus, so here this becomes x to the 3/4 power, because that was negative 1/4. But then here we have our original coefficient, divide by the exponent or multiply by the reciprocal, which was 4/3. Now simplify. Here, 4/7 times 14, you should get 8. So this is 8x to the 7/4 power. Then here I notice 3 divided by 3, but again, so minus here, so 4/3 times 3, you end up with negative 4. X to the 3/4 power plus c. And here is our integral. So last thing in this lesson too is we're going to start and introduce just 2 of our trig functions. So here are basics that we'll be seeing quite a bit of, which is sine and cosine. Now here, remember we're going backwards. So we're used to saying like sine was cosine and cosine was negative sine. So now here, the integral of sine is now negative cosine of x plus c. And here, the integral of cosine is sine x plus c. Because again, we're going backwards. If I wanted to know what was the derivative of sine, remember the derivative of sine was cosine. So again, notice here that backwards. So again, integral of sine is now negative cosine, and integral of cosine is sine. So here we'll do a couple of problems. Sorry, my pen. There we go. So again, notice we have 5 minus sine of x. So we're finding the integral of dx. So again, here we have our integral of our constant. So this just becomes 5x. Then minus the integral of sine of x, which is negative cosine x. Now notice here we have 2 negatives. So 2 negatives making a positive. So this is 5x plus cosine of x plus c. So again, right, because of our negatives and whatnot here, don't forget your signs. Then we'll do this next one. This is just 2 times cosine of x dx. So here the integral is, well, this is just 2 times. So 2 times the integral of cosine, which is just sine. So this is 2 times sine of x plus c. Go ahead and pause the video and try this one on your own. Now notice, sorry about that, this is the square root of x here. So try this one on your own. And so with this last one here, notice you needed to rewrite. So remember, this is x to the 1 there goes my pen again. There we go. X to the, let's, there we go. X to the 1/2 power. Then here we go. So 3 times sine of x, which is 3 times, so integral of sine is negative cosine. So -3 times cosine of x. And here, after adding 1, this is minus, so now your new exponent, right? Because this represents 2 over 2 is x to the 3 over 2. Then divide by your new or multiply by the reciprocal. So this becomes minus 2/3 x to the 3/2 power plus c.